Hello! Today we've got another tutorial for you, which is sort of meant for the holidays, well specifically for Christmas, because green and red to me are really Christmas colors. But of course you could use this on any occasion you want, basically. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, this time I'm going to start out with the Maybelline Color Tattoo in the shade Crème de Rose. Yes, I'm back to that one. And I'm going to apply that on my entire eyelid, from like the lash line all the way up to the eyebrow. Yep. Just so the eyeshadow will have a nice base to stick on. And then I'm just going to prepare the crease, because like this look has like red and black in it, and yeah, I just prefer to have my crease sort of defined before that. It just makes blending easier. So for that I'm going to use the Makeup Revolution Flawless Matte Palette. And yes, have the letters are faded off, that's because it's in my makeup kit as usually. And yeah, this has a lot of nude shades as you can see, and yeah, just, you know, pick a nude shade that suits your skin tone. I think I'm going to go with this one over here. And just use a fluffy brush to define the crease with that. Doesn't have to be perfectly defined yet, as long as it's, you know, there. And it just really makes it easier to blend later. So as you can hear a lot of birds in the background, I put some bird food in the backyard yesterday, so they're enjoying it. Okay, that's pretty much enough. I'm also going to highlight the brow bone because, you know, that's the one thing I always forget. For that I'm going to use the palest shade over here. And this short eyeshadow brush. By the way, this color is also a great highlighter for underneath the eyes. I mean, I already highlighted this time, but it works perfectly well for that as well. And yeah, that's the part of the non-color things. Wait, I'm going to do one other thing. I'm going to use an angled brush and put a layer of black in the crease already. It's not really necessary. I mean, I'm not sure if it actually makes a difference, but because I didn't try it without adding the black first. But I always feel that if I layer more colors, it just looks more smooth and nice. So I'm just going to put some black, also from the Makeup Revolution palette, in the crease already and blend it out. Just so there's already a little bit of base for the other colors. And then it's time to add some color. And I'm going to use here the Decay Electric palette for that, simply because it has like a lot of bright colors. So yeah, and I almost put my finger into one of them. But I'm going to use, you know, really like sort of cliche Christmas colors. I'm going to use red and green and pale green from this palette. And yeah, I'll just use a normal eyeshadow brush for this. I think this is the same one I actually use for the base as well. So as always, I'm wiping off my brushes on the towel that's on my lap, so I can just reuse them. I'm going to start out with the middle green shade and just put that in the center of the eyelid. And if you're using the same palette, it is a pressed pigment, so you don't need a lot of it. And if you don't use the same palette, then, you know, just apply however much the eyeshadow you're using needs to look opaque. And then I'm going to put the paler green shade in the inner corner of the eye. And really blend it in with the dark green as well. And then lastly I move on to red and just very carefully going to put it in the outer corner. And also blending that with the dark green, and the black just makes it look more wearable, I guess, than it would have looked otherwise. And as soon as there's a little bit of red in it, you can just see a hint of red now. I'm going to use the angled brush and blend it into the crease. And just, you know, keep applying it until it looks red enough for your taste, and just keep blending until it looks well blended. And then I'm also going to add a little bit more of the black color over here. And I'm just going to use this really tiny round brush for that. Because I just want the crease, oops, almost dropped the palette. I just want the crease to be a little bit darker. And be careful when applying black as usual, because, you know, it's sort of hard to remove if you apply too much. This brush, by the way, isn't the best at completely blending it, so I'm just sort of blending it And now I'm moving to this brush. And just properly blending it, and also blend the outer corner here so it looks, you know, smooth. Would also look cute, I think, to make a cut crease, but I don't know, I just wanted to go for somewhat more softer look of the eyeshadow. Then I'm going to use a narrow angle brush and the red shade again. I'm putting that in the outer corner. Do be careful with this, because if you apply too much or too little, or I don't know, just really might try to make it into a straight line. Because if it looks blotchy somehow, it's just going to look like a very irritated eye. And I'm also using a little bit of black in the outer corner to really tie it in with the upper part of the eyelid. Yep. And then lastly, I'm using a little bit of the green shade, pale green one. And putting that in the inner corner. A little bit more than that. And then lastly, I also want a silver highlight. There is a silver shade actually in the Urban Decay palette. However, it's not very opaque. Yeah, it's just sort of a soft shade. And I really want a sort of like deeper shade. I'm just looking for the brush I want to use. This one again. I just want a sort of like, not a softer shade. I want a really like silver shade and not just silver glitter. So I'm using I Love New York by New York Color. Which is sort of a snowy silver white nail polish. I wanted to say nail polish. I meant eyeshadow. I would recommend putting nail polish on your eye. And I'm really putting that in the inner corner. And I'm applying quite a lot. Not too much, but just so it's really, really highlighted. I like that. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the eyeshadow. Then it's time for eyeliner. I'm going to use the Max one again by a Dutch budget store. Like I said last time, it's just as dark as the Estee Lauder one that I use a lot of times, but I don't know, I want to use more different things in my videos, because otherwise it would just be, you know, the same thing over and over again, but yeah, just apply differently each time, so that's why I'm using more different stuff these days. But yeah, either way, this one is really nice and black as well. It just doesn't last all that long. But with a cheap pencil, it doesn't really matter if it's got to be reapplied a few times. So yeah, then it's time for a liquid liner. I want to apply lashes, but these particular lashes, I just poked myself in the eye with the pencil. Ow. But yeah, these particular lashes have quite a thick lash band, so I really wanted to do a eyeliner underneath it to hide the lash band. So I'm using the Etos liquid inked one. And just trying to create a thin wing. And do keep in mind when doing this that the eyelashes are actually going to hide most of it anyway, so yeah. Doesn't matter if it's not completely perfect. Just try to get the wings even. Like that. Yep. A little bit thicker, I think. Okay, and then it's time for false lashes. I'm going to use the Screen Siren ones by Eyelure again. But this time I'm going for the middle ones. The ones, or the pair where there's already one missing, this pair. Because they're really pretty, and yep. So I'll apply those off camera because I still aren't very good at that. And then I'll get back to you. Okay, so I've applied the eyelashes. I really love how they look. I still very much not love the eyelash glue, honestly. I don't think I filmed it properly. Yeah, I really like how they look. I still don't very much like the eyelash glue because, well, the plus side of it is that it will come off the lashes very easily. So it won't ruin the eyelashes. On the downside, I really don't feel as if this is going to stick all day long. So if I would be wearing this outside, I'd constantly be worrying if the eyelashes are going to fall off. I should really try it out sometime. Maybe I'll just try it with these lashes. But yeah, as it is now, I really don't have the faith that it will stay on my eyes all day. But yeah, so I'm just still trying to make it work for me. But yeah, now I'm going to use the Catrice Glamour Doll mascara. Only going to apply that to my lower lashes. Because it's better for false eyelashes not to apply mascara on them. And, you know, I have my eyelashes tinted black anyway, so they're not invisible against the lashes. So yeah, as a blush I'm also going to use an eyeshadow from the Urban Decay palette. The red one, because I don't have a red blush. And I'm just going to apply it very carefully. If you do use the same palette, then just be very careful with the step, because if you apply too much it will be very, very, very red. And just putting that between the shape and where I want to put the highlight. And sort of blending it all around there. And then just gives a sort of red glow to it. Then I'm going to use the silver shade and from the same palette and this brush. Just really wipe it off properly, because I also use it with dark shades. And just applying a little bit of silver glitter. I did apply a silver cream highlighter underneath my powder and everything. So I'm just adding this to add a little bit more of a glow. And also to the Cupid bow. And then it's time for the lips. So this is the final look. I hope you enjoyed watching this. If you celebrate Christmas, then I hope you'll have a very nice Christmas. And if you don't celebrate Christmas, I still hope you'll have a very nice weekend. So yeah, thank you very much for watching and see you next time. Bye! Okay, so I'm done on the upper lid with the pencil. Now I'm just going to use the side of the same brush. If you want it to be less smoky, you can just use a smaller brush, of course.